request Sushant Kadolai to speak.
Om Namasiddevya, Om Namasiddevya, Om Namasiddevya. Ellarigu Jai Jinendra, Namaskara, Sharan, Kiora. All the dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank all the organizers, Kadri uncle, to inviting me to this function and giving the opportunity to participate in this event. I would like to talk about one of the oldest faith and philosophy of our Indian culture, which is Jainism. So, who is Jaina, or when this is started? So, Jaina means one who follows the principles of Jina. So, who is Jina? Jina is the one, a soul or a living being who has conquered his own inner passions. So the Jainism principles are eternal, and hence there is no founder. There is a myth that Mahavir started the Jainism, but he was the last teacher or the preacher of this era. There were 23 supreme teachers existed before him, and those teachers are the path showers or the path showers who conquer our inner passions. So what is Jaina philosophy? So they believe in like nature, and this whole universe is eternal. There is no start or there is no end to this universe, and there is no creator or operator or a destroyer. Everything is happening by its own, like it's natural process. And every living being, which is a soul, like you, like every living being, not just humans, animals or the trees, wherever you see a living being or a soul or a power which is part of this this universe, is they are all transforming from one form to another, and they can't be destroyed. It's like a energy which is it can just transfer but can't be destroyed. Same way, the souls, the living beings which are existing here, they are just transforming from one form to another form. And they were eternal, they existed in the past, and they will exist in the future, but just in a different form. Every living being has the capacity to conquer its inner passions. So every living being, everybody is same, like what the sir was telling, every soul, I could say, has that power to conquer their own inner passions and become an omniscience. So each self is eternal, and such as it has no beginning or nor end. At the same time, each self is constantly experiencing a change because it is essentially active, and this is the core teaching of Jainism. The original quality of soul, so the soul, the living being, or one who thinks our own thing, is the original qualities are eternal happiness, non-abstract, clear knowledge, compassion, endless power, and etc. Whatever the good qualities of soul, you can see somebody has a compassion towards anybody else. The person says, oh, he's a very good soul. So that's the original quality of a soul. So Jaina teachers have shown us the path to get those qualities. So when I say there is no God concept, why Jains have temples and statues? So Jains worship the qualities. So qualities of living beings or souls who have attained that state of eternal happiness and knowledge. The only reason to worship them is to become like them. So we worship the people, living beings who has attained that state. So tomorrow you can attain that state. Any living being, like even animals can attain that state. So we worship those qualities to attain that state. That's a pure conciseness where you have the control over yourself. Your all the inner passions, like in Hindi we raga, dvesha, krodha, mana, maya, lobh, whatever we call, those all will be you have the control over them, and you gone in self. And so that capacity is there for every living being. That's what the the teachers have told, and there are already infinite souls which have attained that state, and every living being can attain that state. So each and every living being's qualities. So these qualities are worshipped by Jainas or anyone. Anyone can go through them and acquire those qualities. So it's like you might have heard of manifestation. Like whatever we manifest, we become like that. So we manifest to become like them. So to become like them, we have to know what those qualities are. What is that? So that's the reason we worship. We worship to know their qualities and become like them. And there is another. So each living being, like what I said has got those qualities, and by intentionally hurting those living beings, we are going away from the conquering our inner passions and compassion. So, we know each and every living being has got that capabilities. So, if we hurt them, we are again going against what we believe. So, that's the reason the non-violence, which is the core principle of Jainism, has been followed to be compassionate to each and every living being. So, there is, in Jainism, they have categorized the living beings. There is a lot of science and everything is explained, like why we should not harm anyone, or why we should not kill any animals, or why we should not the process of what we eat, what we do, how we talk. Everything is based on non-violence to make sure that nobody gets hurt. Like if I hurt somebody, even by in my mind, that is also a bad thing, because I am again going against my inner qualities. So to become to get this our own my quality which is blocked, to open that blockage, I need to be compassionate to other people. I need to be compassionate to each and every living being, and make sure that by my actions, by my words, by my thoughts, I am not hurting anyone. That's the core, principle of non-violence, which is followed. And there is another main principle which is called Satyavada or Anekantavada. In Jaina metaphysics, the doctrine that all judgments are conditional, holding good only in certain conditions, circumstances, or senses, expressed by the word Sat. The way of looking at things are infinite in numbers. I will just explain this. There was a story for this. An elephant comes in a village, and there were 4 blind people. And each in the village they said, "There is an elephant. Let's go and see this." So the person just touches the legs of the elephant and says, "Elephant is like a pillar." The one touches the stomach, says it's like a wall. The one person touches the ears, he says in Kannada there is a mara, which is we used to clean the grains. It's like that. And there's one person touches the tail, he says it's like a broom. So the viewpoint, it's elephant. Absolute truth is one, but the viewpoint, the way you are viewing the things from, are different. So everybody is correct in their viewpoint. This is the Satyavada. So Satyavada means like you are not wrong, you are not wrong. Everybody is right in their viewpoint. The way they look at it, it's that's called Naya. Naya means the viewpoint. So my viewpoint is different, but your viewpoint is different. But both are right in that perspective. But when we combine whole infinite viewpoints, it becomes absolute truth. So to go to the absolute truth, we have to consider each and every viewpoint is right. We should not oppose. This principle is very much needed in current days to avoid any arguments. So if we got any arguments, everybody will be right, because their thinking, their pattern, their viewpoint, their situation is according to whatever they are experiencing through. So we should always apply this principle whenever we are, having any discussions. And apart from non-violence, there are another 5 O's which Jaina Munis, Jaina nuns, Jain Shravakis follow: the non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, celibacy, and non-attachment. So these are the 5 things they follow, and there are like 10 dharmas which Munis follow, which are supreme forgiveness, modesty, straightforwardness, simplicity, contentment, truthfulness, self-restraint, austerity, renunciation, possessionlessness, and celibacy. So these are the things, there's a time constraint, so I will not go more in details to that. And there is another shloka which is called Paraspara Upagraho Jivana, which means Paraspara means each and every living being helps each and other living being. That's what the Jiva's dharma is. So Jiva means our soul, our quality is to help each other. That's not how everybody will progress. So that's one, we use it a lot, that sloka. And there are like in Karnataka, the Jains were from ancient times there was a lot of the granthas, and there were a lot of scriptures written in Kannada, Hale Kannada. There was lots of poets, Ranna, Janna, Pampa. They're all, they have exemplary, poetics and granthas. They were created in our land, and like most of the kingdoms like Kadambas, Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas, and Hoysalas, Vijayanagar, they're all helped, promoted all the different faiths, and everything is prosperously. We got a lot of great history in all over the India, as well as in Karnataka especially. We have really got a lot of scriptures and monuments, and they all exist. So yeah, I would like to finish my words, and thanks for this opportunity. So Paraspara Upagraha Jivanam, everybody will help each other. Thank you. Bye.
Arvind Anna will talk about the